Hello crafters, this is Adrienne. I'm here to share with you what I made for the 2025 Spring Fever YouTube hop that's hosted by Tiffany Crafting Like a Boss McGill here on YouTube. She is the owner of the Facebook group Coffee Cake and Crafting, where she has challenged everyone in the group to make something for the next 4 weeks for this Spring Fever YouTube hop. This week we are to make treat boxes, and as you see, I made a treat box for these cute little candy Smarties. I thought this would be a good gift idea for my grandson's school, so I'm going to be making about 8 to 10 of these gift boxes, these treat boxes, and putting some Smarties in them. I don't know if I'm going to put the window in all of them because it's a little bit extra work, but we'll see. Right now, I just wanted to share with you what I have. It's about 3.5 inches wide, 6 inches long, and the sides are about 1 inch, and I covered the box in printable cardstock, printable papers that are a digital file on Etsy. I can't remember the file that I used, the name of it, but if you're interested, let me know and I will respond to your comment. So this is going to be the Valentine's gifts for my grandson's school. I went ahead and put like a little resin bow on the top just so that it can be a little bit decorative. If anybody knows me, knows that I am definitely plain and simple kind of girl. So with this, I just wanted to make it simple because the kids are going to be using it and they don't care anything about decorations. I may or may not put a resin bow on top of them. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought it was a cute addition, and if the kids, you know, they'll probably tear it open and take the candy out anyway. So with that being said, it didn't really matter to me. It doesn't really matter to me if I put a bow on it or not, but it's still going to be cute either way. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how I made this cute little box. Okay, so with the box, I did go ahead and pre-measure this piece of paper to show you that what I did to make the treat box. So I used a size 9.5 by 8.5 paper to create the box. What I did was on the 9.5 inch side, I went ahead and scored at 1 inch all the way down, at 4.5 inches all the way down, at 5.5 inches all the way down, and at 9 inches all the way down to the very end. And then I flipped it on the to the right, and on the far right, the far left hand side, I did a score line at 1 inch all the way to the bottom. At the 7 inch line, I did a line, I scored all the way to the bottom on 7 inch, and then at 8 inches, I scored all the way down to the bottom. And those are all the score marks that you're going to need for this project. And I will share with you what cut lines are. So give me just a moment. Okay, so here's my piece of paper now. Just wanted to make sure that you were able to see. I'm going to share with you where you're going to be cutting here. So with this 1/2 inch at the top, I'm looking at the side now with the 9.5 inches across the top, across the width. So at this where the 1.5 inch is, what I'm going to do is cut this little rectangle, which is this right here. I'm going to cut this little rectangle out. I'm going to cut, this is where these lines are here. So this is going to be cut. Let me just show you here where you're going to be cutting at, because you're going to actually cut half of this, about 1/3 of this off as well. So you're going to cut right there. And all of this is going to be cut off here. This is going to be cut, and this is going to be cut, because this is going to be another line as well. So you still have this and this. You're going to cut both of those. Okay? Alrighty. And right here, you're actually going to miter. So you're going to cut these little triangles out on these sides here. kind of miter those corners there. Okay? And just leave those score lines as they are. Okay, then you're going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to show you where you'll need to cut on the back end. The only thing you're going to be cutting out in this little triangle right here, this little 1/2 inch by 1 inch, you're going to cut that out. And then you're going to just kind of miter in on this one. Just miter in on this little triangle right here. This is going to be set just like that. And you're going to miter this little triangle as well. You're going to cut this one out this way. Let's just keep this one straight like that. So we're going to cut down that line, but we're going to miter that little flap there. And then what we're going to do here is this line here, all the way through that next score line, we're going to cut all of the rest of this off. We're going to cut these off altogether, okay? All right, give me a moment and I'll give you a quick overview. Okay, so here it is. Here is the full photo. So these are all the things that you're going to cut out. Okay. Once you cut those out, you're going to be left with something similar to this. I went ahead and cut this out. What I did was I've measured about 1/2 inch on each side of this part of it where the flap is. I measured about 1/2 inch diameter of a kind of a rectangle, and then I just kind of scored, you know, what do you call it? I used this little corner puncher, sorry, oops. This little corner puncher to punch the edges because I wanted it to be a little bit fancy, okay? Not much, but just a little bit fancy. So what I did was I laid it on here, and I used a piece of cardstock as my, let's just say this is a piece of paper that I used, okay? Let's just pretend. I cut a piece of paper about the size of about 1/8 of an inch smaller than this 3.5 by 6. And then I laid this on top of it. So I put a piece of tape in between it, and I went ahead and taped all 3 pieces together, and I used my little X-Acto knife and I cut it out. So then I cut a piece of clear acetate about the same size of the paper, my pattern paper. So let's just pretend this is pattern paper that I used. And I cut that out about the same size of the pattern paper, which once I cut this out, it left me with this little hole here in both this paper as well as my box. So I went ahead and sandwiched the acetate between this and this. After I've cut out all my little notches and everything, I went ahead, also this little 1/2 inch flap, remember we had that 1/2 inch on the top, I went ahead and corner punched that also, so it could be a little bit cute. Okay, so let me show you what I did. On all the score marks, I went ahead and folded on all the score marks that I told you that we made when we were preparing the paper. So I went ahead and just scored everything like that and folded it into itself just like this, making sure that it's straight. Use some tape. I use actually glue, and just put a piece of glue right here. Let me find my glue on my tape because I can't see anything. I'm in this little corner right now. Anyway, let me show you. I'll show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. So anyway, I'm using half inch score tape. So for the video, but I use glue on mine because I just like glue. Okay, so what I did was I just folded this into this little flap here. I folded it in half and burnished it real good. And the ends that I did, the little flaps, I went ahead and put the flaps in, and I put glue on both flaps, and then I put the this flap up and this one going to the bottom. All right, let me show you how I did that using a piece of tape so you can see the full effect of how I made this little tree box here. And all the papers that I used was about 1/8 of an inch smaller than the actual box itself. So I just went in and measured the size 1 inch, and I cut off 1/8 of an inch on that. And then I put it's 6 by 1, 6 by 3.5. So this was cut out with the I want to say it's 6 by 3.5. I want to say, let me see. Yeah, 6 by 3.5. I'm sorry. So I went ahead and folded everything in and closed it like this. And how I put my candies in was I just used a piece of white paper, added some tape down the middle, easy peasy, pulled the tape back, added the Smarties along the front here. I used about 7 or 8. I think I used, yeah, I think I put 8. Yeah, I put 8 in each one. But just for demonstration, I only have 3 up here on my desk. So I put the Smarties in there and opened the top here and just slid them in just like this, so that the box can be reusable just in case somebody wanted to use it again. So here is my finished product. Here is my little prototype here that I showed you how to make. I hope this was easy for you. But again, like I said, with the acetate, make sure that you put the acetate down and glue it down. And then thank you so much for watching my video this week. So meet us here again next week, and follow the ladies in the link everyone who is participating in the description below. So next week we're going to be creating hearts and flowers. So come back next week, which is Friday the 14th of February, and I will be sharing you what I made with hearts and flowers. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a great week. Bye.